Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DelfinGroup Investor Webinar. Today, our hosts are the CEO of DelfinGroup, Didis Admītiņš, and member of the management board and CFO of the company, Aldis Umblejs. The gentlemen will walk us through the recently announced financial results of 6 months 2023. During the presentation, you're encouraged to ask your questions to the company by typing them in the Q&A window. We'll cover them in the second part of the call. This session is being recorded and the recording will be available shortly after the call. Now, let me hand over to Didis and Aldis.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, dear participants, or shareholders, investors, and potential investors for joining our webinar. Today here is Didis Admītiņš, CEO of DelfinGroup, and Aldis Umblejs, CFO of the company, and we will present you unaudited results for first half of this year. And I will tell you about our company highlights, very briefly about business results, and after that, Aldis will present about business performance, financial results, and as always, after that will be question and answer session. So briefly about first half of this year, as you see many double-digit numbers, and indeed this first half of this year was quite successful for our company. You see +27 for consumer loans and +36 for pawn loan issuance, and I count it as very good success for our company. And that's year-on-year increase for those segments, and +16% for credit portfolio combined growth. And that's not year-on-year, but that's since beginning of this year. If you look at revenue and EBITDA, you see +46% for EBITDA growth, and I count it as very good result. And if you look at profit before tax, +11%, and as everyone understand, the +46 for EBITDA, +11 for profit before tax, the main driver for there is a financial costs. That's mean that very good business results, credit portfolio growing, issuance levels are good, but also as the other side, there is a financial costs. If we go more into details, you see that on the left side there is combined issuance levels for quarters, and you see that there is a good improvement if we look at a year-on-year basis, especially first quarter and also second quarter. But you see also that there is drop in the second quarter if we compare it to this year first quarter. And I want to explain everybody also about this, and that is linked to that credit portfolio. We have managed to increase credit portfolio quite good. As you see, its credit portfolio is already 78 million euro, and that's at the moment already better than in our guidance for the end of this year. So at the end of the guidance for the end of this year was 77 million euro, but already now it's 78 million euro. And that was the reason why we consciously decreased the issuance levels. And the other argument is that we have to fulfill our obligations against bond investors, because we have several financial covenants, for example, cap ratio, and we have to keep those covenants in a healthy level. That's the reason why we are also issuing the subordinated bonds to increase this credit portfolio for going further. If you look at revenue and profit before tax, you see that as I already mentioned, very good improvement for revenue, +51% year-on-year basis, and for EBITDA 46. And yes, as I mentioned, main driver for profit before tax in this case is the financing cost, which is higher than previous year, but still +11% for cumulative profit before tax. And actually, also it's like best quarter in company history of 2 million, reaching 2 million quarter of profit before tax. So continue with our highlights of our company to foster circular economy. In May we launched a new solution for our company. We launched the solution how clients can remotely sell their pre-owned items to us. So before that we did that in our branches, and we are still doing that. But we launched this digital solution so clients can very comfortably to sell their pre-owned goods. So client can fill application online, then get the evaluation, and then go to post box service, which are very many in Latvia, and just send this item to us, and we will pay client, and that could happen in just 1 or 2 days. And many of those items is which we have bought is already in our branches or in our internet shop, all already sold. And we also see a very good interest for this service, so that we have received already about more than 1,500 applications till today. And we will continue to develop this solution. Yes, as I mentioned in the previous webinar, that our target was to open the largest branch of Banknote, and we have done that. We have opened the largest Banknote branch so far, and this branch is located in Riga, Imanta. It's and I believe that it's also like largest pawn shop in Baltics, and also it's the largest circular economy shop in Riga. And clients can find there more than 4,500 items for sale, and there are many categories for sale, like mobile phones, computers, power tools, sport tools, jewelry, and so on. And yes, everybody is welcome. It's very interesting, and it's like a very new assortment every day or every several days, and it's like changing all the time. And also clients can get or other services also in this branch, and it's consumer loans and pawn loans. Yes, we also start a new initiative how to promote our services, especially service of buying and selling pre-owned goods. And we launched this activity of open doors, and we did that during city festivals and in cities like Ventspils, Kuldīga, and Cēsis, and we will do that also in Riga. And actually, we saw very good interest from our clients. We get many new clients, which was excited to see what we are doing. And I hope that we will continue to do that in future, and we'll get more new clients through this solution. To continue with activities of capital market, I want to mention that that was quite many activities during that period. For example, in July we listed our 10 million bonds in Nasdaq First North bond list, and in cooperation with Signet Bank, we also issued 2 new bonds. One is 5 million subordinated bond to support companies' capital structure and to grow credit portfolio, and the other one is 15 million unsecured bond, which we launched this month, and it's with appealing 9% plus 3 months Euribor coupon rate. To continue with capital market highlights, yes, from May 22 until 2nd of June, the second shareholder share of public offering happened, and actually it was quite successful because it was oversubscribed, and the company's free floating was increased to 27.1%. And if you remember, just about a year ago, our free float was a bit less than 15%. So now it's 27%. So that means that it's more easy to buy or sell our shares on the stock exchange. And also I want to mention that on the right side you see our shareholder count and shareholder split, that our shareholder count also increased significantly to almost 9,000 shareholders. And if you look at our shareholder split by country, see that at the end of June, about 74% of our shareholders is from Estonia and 22 from Latvia. So it's like very good interest was also during that shareholder public offering from Estonia, and also in actual shareholder split, there is Estonia is dominating in our shareholder structure. Yes, and also not only circular economy in business activities, but also it's very important to be sustainable in governance of the company. And I want to mention two things there. And one is sustainability index. Our company was quite successful in this competition. That competition is quite prestige in Latvia, and many mature and good governed companies are participating in sustainability index, and our company get gold level award for this. So I was quite happy about that. And the other initiative is Mission Zero, and we joined this initiative, which is for that this initiative is fighting for zero accidents in the workplace and to foster a good work environment. And that's also is the direction where we are looking how to develop our company. And yes, and before we go further, and before I give screen to Aldis, I want to ask everyone a question. Where did what did you do with your previous mobile phone when you purchased a new one? And that's actually the reason, not the reason, the direction where we are working, because mobile phones are the largest category in our shop. That's about one quarter of our stock in our shops, and it's very important also for me to understand what our shareholders, what our investors are doing with that thing to improve our services. And I ask everyone to vote about what you are doing, and maybe I will give some reflection about that. Okay, we already have some answers. Okay, I will wait some 5 seconds. Okay, I see that mainly participants today, about half is putting somewhere they don't see it. I suggest sold it, maybe sold it to banknote, or sold it or give it maybe to someone to promote this circular economy, because I guess your used iPhone or used phone is still working, and someone can use it and prolong this life cycle of those items. Yes, thank you, participants, for voting. I think we can go further, and I will give screen to Aldis.
Okay, thanks, Didi. Yes, in the coming slides, I will be covering our financials and business segments. And to start with the consumer loans, as you saw already from the numbers that this is presented, that the demand for the consumer loans continues to be strong also for the second quarter, and the loan portfolio has grown by 46% compared to the last year, and has reached 71.7 million euros. The inflation is contributing to the increase in the average loan amount, and it continues to increase quarter by quarter, while the average loan terms remains steady and is around 33 months. The non-performing loan ratio also in this quarter continues to be low and was 1.8%, and we continue to have a prudent underwriting process and use a range of tools to manage our delayed portfolio. The portfolio split by delay buckets has not changed compared to the year end, and almost 90% of our consumer loans are not due. Although the demand continues to be strong, we have adjusted our risk policies to lower the overall risk for us and to continue to have a good quality of loan portfolio also going forward. The second quarter of this year has been a new high for the pawn loan segment, as the total portfolio has reached 4.1 million euros and has increased by 21% on a year-on-year basis. The slight decrease in the redemption rate for the last two quarters is as a result of our change in our pricing policy, whereby we are providing a higher valuation of gold to our customers, and as such some of them have decided not to redeem their loans, and we have taken over the collateral, and the result of the subsequent sales of these items are included in our retail segment. Also, the retail of pre-owned goods continues to have another quarter, as we have grown by 33% on a yearly basis, and in fact the decision that we made last year to prioritize this segment is reflected in the sales increase starting the third quarter of the last year. And retail of pre-owned goods will be our priority also in the coming period, is also reflected by this. Margin remains steady also in this year, and the slight decrease following the end of the last quarter is related to the pricing adjustment of the pawn loans I just mentioned in the last slide, and as the items that are sold in the retail segment also are coming from the pawn loans. In the split between the product categories that we are selling, there have not been any significant changes, and smartphones and jewelry are still leading the sales also for this year. As for the diversification, the revenues generated by our consumer lending segment still account for the largest portion. And between our brands, they make in total up 68%. And compared to the year end, the share of the consumer lending segments in our revenues has increased by 3%, resulting in the overall growth of our consumer lending portfolio. The revenues for the second quarter of this year have grown by 52% and by 51% for 6-month period. The credit loss expenses have increased in this year due to the increase in the loan portfolio, as well as of sales of the non-performing loan portfolios. Interest expenses and similar expenses have increased because of the total increase of interest-bearing debt and our balance sheet, and this is a function of the rising interest rates in all of the markets. Nevertheless, we have managed to increase the net profit by 61% in the second quarter and by 36% for the first half of the year. The balance sheet has grown by 80%, and the drivers for that are net loan portfolio and inventories. It in turn again increases our interest-bearing debt. The cost-to-income ratio continues a steady decrease, and that indicates that we are committed to manage our costs effectively. The increase in cost of interest-bearing liabilities has impacted the interest coverage ratio that has decreased at the end of this quarter. However, it is well above the 1.5 times as required by our financial covenants. The equity ratio has decreased following the increase of the total balance sheets of the company. However, we have managed to increase the return of our equity that for end of this quarter was 37.2%. When we come to the capital structure, then there have not been significant changes there. For now, Mintos continues to be our largest source of funding, followed by bonds. During 2023, 2 out of 3 bond emissions will mature, and we will refinance them. As already touched upon by Didzis, we have started one private placement of a 50 million euro bond that will be used to refinance the August maturity, as well as to attract new funds. And in addition, we have started subscription for a new subordinated bonds. I will be covering them in more detail in the next slide. And the refinancing of the second bond that will mature on November will be carried out later in the year. Yes, and talking about our 2 new bond emissions, on this slide you can see a summary of their terms. The first one is a 5 million euro subordinated bond with a 5-year term, and the coupon rate for that is 11.5 plus 3-month Euribor. The proceeds for this bond is used to strengthen our capital and to issue long-term loans. The second bond is a 50 million euro 2.5-year bond with a coupon rate of 9% plus a 3-month Euribor, and the aim of this bond is to refinance the August maturity, as well as to attract additional funds for loan issuance. Both of these bonds are private placement and have a minimum investment of 100,000 euros. And the emission agent of these bonds is Signet Bank. Also, during this year, we are continuing to make regular distributions to our shareholders. And during the first half of the year, we made 2 dividend payments in total of 1.64 million euros. Also, following the publication of these results, there will be a shareholders meeting for the approval of financial statements and the approval of dividend distribution. As already mentioned by Didzis, this is in one of his slides, during the May and June of this year, 2 of our largest shareholders made a public offer of the company shares and sold them for €1.35. That at that time was below the market price. This impacted also the share price that following the offer adjusted around the 1.35. However, given the company's good financial performance and the results, we expect the share price to rebound and increase in the near future. And yes, with this, I would like to conclude our presentation and remind you that in order to receive our latest information and news about DelfinGroup, we encourage you to subscribe to our newsletter, and that can be done through the link seen on the screen. And also, please feel free to visit our social media accounts.
Thank you, thank you, Albi. I see many questions already submitted. If anyone would like to join the discussion and ask your question to the company, please use the Q&A window that you see beneath the presentation. We'll start with the first question that we have received prior to the call. Why there is no public offer for DelfinGroup bond issues? I would be interested to invest with 11.5% plus 3-month Euribor interest rate.
I think I can answer on that. Yes, in the short, that the public offering is a more complex process, and that's the reason why it's not being done for now. However, we are still intended to have this option in the near future, and I believe that there will be a time where the investors will be able also to invest through our bonds in a public offering.
Thank you. Could you explain what drove the credit losses in second quarter, as these, as a percentage of your loan portfolio, are much higher than in the first quarter?
Yes, regarding the loan loss provisions, the main reason for them is the increase in our loan portfolio. As you can see from the balance sheet, we are growing our portfolio quarter by quarter, and as a function of that, it increases also our loan provisions. Because first, under IFRS, we have to recognize loan loss provisions on day one, irregardless if the loan has been delayed or it is not delayed. That's one. Second, it also depends on let's say the split of the loan portfolio between the delay buckets, and by such a large portfolio, also just the slightest changes in a percentage or even below can affect the amount of the loan loss provisions. However, if we would look, let's say, on a longer period, we could observe that there isn't, let's say, a trend or any other indicator that would show that the portfolio performance or let's say the quality has worsened.
Thank you. Do you observe any changes in customers' repayment behavior or increase in defaults?
I will cover this one. That question, as I understand, corresponds to on the consumer loan segment, because in pawn loan segment, it's not the problem because we are selling the collateral. But if you look at the consumer loan segment, as you see from our reports, that non-performing loan level is in very good shape. Actually, it's well below our comfortable level of 7%. It's about 2% at the moment. And actually, also in long run, we see that our customers pay better because we better know our customers, and also our credit scoring and risk policy is like in good shape, and we very good understand how to explain client credit history. We know how they pay their credits in our company and in other companies. So yes, it's in good shape, and we don't see any significant problems or any problems in this part of business.
Thank you. Is the subordinated bond included in capitalization rate covenant? Meaning your buffer to the minimum level now increases in second half of the year. Is that so?
Yes, the terms of the subordinate bonds foresee that they will be included in capitalization rate covenant, and it will be included in the second half of the year.
Thank you. One of the participants comments that she noticed that you have an additional management board member. Could you please explain the rationale behind that and how the company will benefit of that?
Yes. Nauris Bloks joined the management board this year, and Nauris is a chief innovation officer in our company, and his main target is to foster innovations in our company and to promote it. And also Nauris has a good experience of international business in the fintech field, and also in information technology field. So it's like good addition to our management board.
Thank you. Another participant thanks for the question about the old phones and has a follow-up question. Can a damaged phone, for example, with a broken screen, be sold to Banknote?
Especially with a broken screen, we are buying such items, but of course we are looking if we can repair it or if we can sell it to someone else. We will not buy a complete damaged phone, but if it's only like a damaged screen, most likely we will buy it.
How do you see reaching the targets set in your guidance for 2023?
Okay, I can cover this, and maybe Aldis can add something. As I mentioned, for example, for credit portfolio, we already fulfilled that target because our target was 77 million euro, and it's already 78 million euro in our credit portfolio, net loan portfolio. And of course, a larger net loan portfolio gives a larger revenue stream and also a positive impact on EBITDA. So at the moment, we see that our targets for profit before tax is in line with our guidance. And if there will be any change, of course, we will give an update on that. But at the moment, it's in line with our guidance.
Thank you. Will the income tax 20% on the coupon be automatically deducted by Latvian tax authorities? What if I am a resident of another country and pay my taxes in my home country? Will it be possible to receive coupon payments without any deduction and cover my taxes in my country?
I can give just a general answer on this because it depends on which country of origin does this person belong. But in general, we withhold the tax. Yes, there are some exceptions for some European countries, but then again, it's case by case. And in the case that we are withholding tax, it is possible, let's say, to get a statement from the state revenue service here that the tax had been withheld, and then to go with that statement to your local tax authority and present them that you have already paid the tax. But again, this will depend on which countries they are, and this question should be raised to a certified tax advisor.
Our second question consists of two parts. First, what is the average loan tranche size in second quarter this year? And second, why is the average size of the loan per client growing all the time?
Yes, I will cover this one. As I understand, it's also about consumer loan, because consumer loan is like credit line type of credit which consists of many tranches or consists of one. The average loan size is growing all the time because actually in the long run we have introduced a larger maximum loan amount. For example, like 5 years ago, the maximum was about 1,000 euro, and now it's like 10,000 euro. And about 3 years ago, it was about maybe 5,000 euro. That's increased because of our supply. And the other part is because economy is growing, there is the inflation, there is increase in salaries of our clients, and the increase in pensions of our senior clients, and so on. So the economy is growing, and also our clients are in better shape, and also our supply. But about the tranche size and about average loan, I want to explain that it's not the same. Average loan size for consumer loan at the moment is about 1,700 euro at the moment, but the tranche is several times less because the clients can take several tranches, which corresponds to one loan. And so the average tranche size is approximately 400 to 500 euro at the moment, but that's not the same as the average loan. So
Thank you.
That I answered that.
What are the plans for further subordinated bonds issues, given that bond returns are 2 times that of equity returns? Is the current subordinated bond fully subscribed?
As for the subordinated bonds, we just actually started that end of July, and there's just not even a month past that the process of subscription has started, and no, it's not yet fully subscribed, and that process is ongoing. As for the next subordinated bond issues, we haven't thought of them yet because, as I said, it's just the beginning there, and if we will see a need to have them in the future, we will consider, but for now there are no plans to have another bond right now.
And a follow-up question on the same topic, how long do you expect to keep refinancing the bonds, also the future bonds? Is there a predicted time when you will manage to refinance them at a lower interest rate, like from the bank?
Yeah, that's a great question. If only I knew how the market rates would go, because we are refinancing our interest-bearing debt based on the market rates, and if they are rising, then so are rising our interest rates. And if there comes at a time when the European Central Bank is let's say saying that it's enough for them to raise interest rates and they are lowering them, then at that point we will also be able to lower our financing costs again.
Thank you. All questions have been answered. I'll remind that we have recorded the session, and if any of you would like to listen to it once again, please follow DelfinGroup announcements to receive the recording link. Thank you for joining the call today, and see you at the next webinars.
Thank you.
Thank you.